Good evening, one and all. Welcome to the Don Lemon Show, Lemon Live at 5. And you see our guest, our special guest. He probably scares some people, but he doesn't scare me. I'm talking about Jason Lee, the Jason Lee of Hollywood Unlocked. Jason, thank you for joining us, sir. I appreciate it.
How are you? First of all, I don't think I scare anybody, but the truth is a scary thing.
I'm messing with you. Jason is a dear friend, and we fight and love each other like brothers. Jason, first of all, I want to tell people to make sure you hit the like and the thumbs up. It affects the algorithm. More people become aware of our conversation and our channel, and it pushes the algorithm does what it does, and it pushes our content out. Okay, first I have to acknowledge, Jason, why I'm wearing this shiny-ass jacket is because I'm in New Orleans and I'm preparing for New Year's Eve, which I know you're going to dial in from at a very fabulous fancy party. You'll have to wait to hear about that. So let's talk about the business at hand. Jason, I'm not even going to go through it, but the whole thing. Second accuser for Tyler Perry. What the hell? Catch our viewers up.
Okay, well, first of all, hello to the whole elimination. Let me just be very clear. It's been really interesting to watch. What Tyler's been going through with the first accuser when he sued him for $270 million. We all kind of knew that was BS. But social media and the court of public opinion wants to continue to consume and digest as much drama as possible. But the person said that the original accuser said that they were at his house and multiple times and drank multiple times, and then Tyler ended up in bed with him allegedly, and then he filed a $270 million lawsuit. Well, this new guy, Mario, who, by the way, I used to see around LA many years ago when he was a lot thinner. He gained so much weight I didn't recognize him. To see him now saying that he Are you laughing?
You're so shady.
No,
I
I'm
love
serious.
it, though.
No,
The truth can be shady, though. You're
No,
right. You
because
did.
the reality is when you look at him, because I remember this guy. He was one of those influencers on the rise of influencer, like when the influencer craze was happening, where all the guys were at Muscle Beach trying to gain all the muscles. Well, he gained a lot of weight. Obviously, life has been lifing for him, and maybe his acting career hasn't taken off. So now this new pathway of trying to get some money is to like try to shake down Tyler Perry. But what I love about this situation is Tyler is taking a play out of Jay-Z's playbook, and he's I will say allegedly releasing text messages and all the receipts, because now what we see is somebody who life probably threw a lot at them, and they lost a lot and needed a lot and couldn't earn it based on talent, so wanted to do it through a money grab, but it's not working.
Okay. All right, so this is the second accuser, the man who's accused Tyler Perry of the sexual assault and the sexual battery, addressing newly surfaced text messages that the pair allegedly sent to each other. And so we have the text messages. But since you mentioned his name is Rodriguez, right? You say, what is his first name again? I don't know if you
Mario.
have it here.
Mario.
Mario Rodriguez. Let's listen to I know I have you for a limited time because you're very busy. I want to listen to a little bit of him addressing why he filed the lawsuit and what he's alleging. Here it is.
Well, I stayed quiet for much too long. I could have saved somebody that this probably happened to after me, but I do apologize, and I'm speaking up now.
Now a second man,
Okay,
model
we have a
Mario
longer one of just him
Rodriguez.
talking. That's the one I want. Can I get that?
Listen, I'm going to take as much time as we need to break this down, because now I'm mad again. So let's just spend as much time as we need.
Okay, well, let's hear it then. Here it is.
To talk to you guys a little bit about sexual assault and harassment, and why the people stay silent. For a long time, guys, I didn't want to say anything, and I wanted to tell you guys why I didn't want to say anything. But when it happened to me, I felt ashamed. I was scared because of the judgment and the questions that people were going to start asking, almost like they were going to blame me for just being there. Well, I felt all of that, guys, when a very big director, a very seriously powerful person that everybody knows, invited me over to his house to talk about roles and upcoming things that he was writing. I was telling myself, like, man, like all of my dreams are coming true right now. Like my opportunities at my front door right now. So much excitement going through my body. And then, guys, it happens.
Okay, pause right there.
My boundaries were
So, Jason, you're free to jump in whenever you want. If you want to stop
Okay,
it or whatever.
let me hop in real quick. First of all,
Go for it. That's why I knew you wanted to.
This is why you don't have no role in any Tyler Perry films. You're a horrible actor. When you look at I know we're going to get in the text messages, But how is it that this person that you refer to in private messages, my friend, my best friend, got my Mexican ass out of trouble, begging for money to fix your
We're
broken
going to
down
read through
car?
those. We're going to read through those. Go
Listen,
ahead.
like the private conversations don't pair up with this public prepared statement that he read from some loser attorney that's now trying to figure out how to get these people to come and match. This is the same attorney that I understand is the attorney for the first individual. So because the first individual's case didn't really pick up the pressure that they thought it was going to, now you got this second person. Yeah, I mean, it's just not adding up. But I think that when he dropped this, if you go and look, I think the date on that was like December 13th or something. It was early December, mid-December when he dropped that. And then the lawsuit hit the news, a few days ago. So this has been like a staggered and multi-layered campaign that stopped dead when the receipts hit the air.
Okay, I have it. And this is the same attorney. And then hasn't this attorney had some sort of sketchy? Is this the same attorney from the Jay-Z thing? And isn't
No,
that
this the attorney that's filing on behalf of Mario is the same attorney that I believe filed on behalf of the first individual. I forgot that guy's names. By the way, that person was all in my friend's DMs too. So apparently, I don't know. I think that the
Alex
drop.
Spiro? I think is his name.
Yes. Wait.
Yeah,
Oh, Alex Piro. That was the guy that went after Jay-Z, right?
yeah. That's what I said. I thought it was the same guy.
Oh, is that who the? Oh, so it's that guy. We'll see. Well, obviously we know it's an ambulance chaser, but yeah, I mean, to listen to the message and then read the text messages, it doesn't add up.
Okay, let's let's listen a little bit and then we'll play the text messages. Here's more of Mr. Rodriguez.
Shamed. I was scared because of the judgment and the questions that people were going to start asking, almost like if they were going to blame me for just being there. Well, I felt all of that, guys, when a very big director, a very seriously powerful person that everybody knows, invited me over to his house to talk about roles and upcoming things that he was writing. I was telling myself, like, man, like all of my dreams are coming true right now. Like my opportunities at my front door right now. So much excitement going through my body. And then, guys, it happens. My boundaries were crossed. You feel like this person feels like they got power over you because of the situation and the opportunity that presented itself in front of you. And then and how fear can somewhat keep you quiet and keep you silent. Well, I stayed quiet for much too long. And I just want to say I'm really sorry, man, because if I would have spoken up sooner, I could have saved somebody that this probably happened to after me. I just want to say sorry for
Pause.
that.
Okay, so listen, we have and I apologize to Mrs. Spiro and Tyler Perry. Spiro is actually Tyler's attorney. The attorney for Rodriguez is being represented by attorney Jonathan Delshed. He's being represented by attorney Jonathan Delshed, who also represented Derek Dixon, who was the first accuser. So what's interesting to me there, and you say what you want, Jason, is that he is referencing the first accuser, which to some people would seem like it was calculated to sort of bolster what he's saying.
Well, because again, think about it, and I've said this on many shows before when I've talked about this kind of shakedown scenario. All shade aside, what happens right now is that there's the legal courts, and then there's the court of public opinion. And so, what oftentimes happen is these people who basically have baseless claims but want to get a good settlement will say everything they can't say personally on social media in a legal document, file the legal document, let it speak for itself, and say, hey, you can't sue me because the courts really, the news picked it up from the court filing. So everything that he's wanted to say that he can't say because he may be accused of slander, defamation of character, or whatever, he's putting in a lawsuit that then the media is doing the work for him. But unfortunately, like, this just doesn't add up. What person finds themselves in a precarious situation where somebody's allegedly taking advantage of you, making you feel uncomfortable, touching your penis, as he said, allegedly happened, but then you all in the text messages saying, I love you, you're my brother, you're my friend, I appreciate everything you're doing. And then after the receipts get dropped, because Tyler's not somebody to do something like that. Me, they know I'm going to drop every receipt. I'm going to drop your mother's birth certificate, your dog's death certificate. I'm going to dig up your grandma. I'm going to put everything out there because I don't care. Right. But I feel like for somebody like a Tyler who subscribes to the when they go low, you go high, I'm not going to get in all of that. He expected him not to release the text messages. Now that he has, or now that they've been released, he's now saying, "Oh, I was just texting all that just to go along," and that's what people who are subjected to this kind of scenario do. They just play nice and still show affection. That's bullshit. Now, I'm somebody that's been molested. I know I'm not sitting up cozying up to somebody who sexually assaulted me or attacked me or wronged me or took advantage of me. Like, if you're hurting me, I'm going to hurt you. So, him now playing on this whole victim narrative and making everybody who is true victims be questioned potentially is a problem.
You better speak on it, Jason Lee. All
I'm
right, let's go through
saying,
these text messages. And this is Mario Rodriguez. Just know that I love you. Now, this is to Tyler Perry. Just know that I love you and I thank you for everything. I appreciate you to the moon. You got my Mexican ass out of a lot of bad places, and I just want to tell you thank you. I can't buy you anything, but I just want to tell you that your boy right here appreciates you more than anything. Straight from the heart, bro. Nothing I wouldn't do for you, man. Anyways, enjoy your time, and I hope I see you again soon. Tyler Perry responds again. These are, I would say, this is reportedly text messages from Mario Rodriguez to Tyler Perry, and then Tyler Perry responding. So he responds with a heart emoji. Well, I think that let me say this. So Tyler responds, "Happy Thanksgiving, my friend. Yep, you've been through it. I'm glad you're doing well. You don't have to give me a thing or pay me a thing. I'm just glad you're good." And then Rodriguez responds with a heart. And then he says, "I'm still going through it, but you know me, man. I'm a survivor, just like you, and or just like you are. And I'm glad that you're my friend, and I love you, bro. Respectfully." Those are the text
listen,
messages that you were referring to.
listen, in the spirit of Tina Turner, what does love have to do with it? If this is love, I don't want it. This seems like very much gaslighting, going on and on about how much he's his friend and this and this and that. And the minute he could turn around and try to stick him with a pick and watch him bleed slow is just a savage. And it's really a reflection of his character. I mean, ultimately, look how much he's saying he loves him. He loves him. I'm your friend. So at what point in all of that, in that helping, did you then turn? I mean, if you also look at the text messages, you can look up at the top. I don't know if you saw this, but Tyler had blocked him. So at some point, Tyler knew that he was on this, or would had to know he was on to some shit, some weird shit. But this is why I think a lot of people, and I've seen in Hollywood Unlocked, that celebrities don't want to get close to people because they don't trust anybody. I'm sure that Tyler was helping this ASPCA project and trying to help him find some work so that way he could feed his fledgling acting career, and it bit him in the ass. And so now this, potentially, if I was Tyler, I mean, I wouldn't let any of these stray dogs audition for any of my films or plays. I wouldn't even let them audition for my Instagram reel.
So straight up, not that you've minced any words in all this, but you're saying you believe that this is a pure D, as we say in the South, money grab.
1000%. First of all, again, having lived in LA for 20 years and knowing Mario from being around the streets, I mean, I don't know him personally. I don't associate with people like that. But when I remember what he looked like, I had to go Google multiple pictures of him and find his Instagram because he don't look like what he used to look like. And again, life has been lifing for people. I haven't seen him since COVID. I don't know. I lost 123 pounds. It looked like he gained it. He's clearly wearing life on his neck and on his face. And so if I would assume he's had a very hard life, what do? You try to hit up somebody that you know. See, because Tyler is not the type of person that's going to go and do your show and do this. Whereas a Jason Lee can't wait to go to your show to do this because this is what Jason Lee does. So what do? You take advantage of somebody like a Tyler. And Tyler's what, a billionaire? So it's like to him, it's nothing. My understanding from what I went and digging around is that this pet project asked for $5 or $6 million and didn't get it. So now he's hitting him for $77 million. Where you even come up with the $77 million? Now, when you look really close, who's interested in all this? Well, the attorney, what I'm sure he gets, what, 5%, 10%, 3%? I don't know. But the first one, 270
He
million.
he
This
gets
guy,
more if it's on contingency. You know that. Come on, Jace.
well, I'm trying to be, it's the holidays, Don. New year, new me.
You're trying
It's
to be
still the
generous.
same me. But listen, 270 million and then 77 million for these two pet projects. That's 300. That's a lot of money. 300 and something $1 million that he's trying to get in settlements. You want Tyler Perry to give you $300 million for this out of work extra who ain't done nothing but gain weight and not one credit since he was in Medea's Halloween spooky movie. Please shut the hell up and go back to whatever you wasn't doing before you did this.
Listen, let me talk to you about that. Wait. Were
Yeah.
you doing? What were you doing? A percentage of the 77 million or the
No, I'm
1
trying to
million?
say, like, if the first settlement demand that they've asked for, the first one is suing, for $270 million.
Okay, I got you. Yes, I
Okay,
got you.
this one he started with five. He started low around 5 million, and then now it's up to 77 million. So if you add the
Right.
270 and 77, that's what this one attorney, is pursuing in settlement from Tyler. So when you ask me a question, does it seem like a money grab? What you think?
I hear you. Let's talk about old media versus new media, old school versus new school, because I do think that you make a very good point. I find that people now are resident and hesitant to are reticent and hesitant to go to new media, to go to digital, to go to streaming, to go to social, to go on shows like this and defend yourself. Look, I mean, look at the Cat Williams of it all. Look at, and it doesn't really matter so much anymore where the soundbite is first presented. It can be here, it can be on the Jason Lee show, but even if it's on, let's say that it's on Good Morning America, wherever it is that you may put it on. I think it would get more attention if you do it in digital and in new media than if you go to a traditional spot. But also, in this day and age, Tyler, you got to get out there and defend yourself. That's how I feel. And maybe I'm
Li-
wrong.
Listen, I'm writing my second book right now, which is going to be a guide to helping everybody stop giving a fuck. Because I'm gonna tell you the problem. First of
Right.
all, coming from network TV, Don, there's way too many politics involved in network television, from brands to who's partners, investors, and banks, and da da da. The reason why I've always been successful in this medium and why you're ultra successful, by the way, congratulations on 1 million subs. You're probably way past that now.
Thank
The
you.
reason why this is gaining traction, on top of the fact that linear television is dying, is because this is where the real, raw, unfiltered, unapologetic, unbiased, and ruthless truth happens. Now, you don't have to like it. My delivery is different than yours. Obviously, I don't really care what people think of me. Not that you do, but I'm just saying that, like, I do my good, and then I also do what I need to do and what needs to get done. Some people go low, they go high. They go low, I go to hell. So I think that this medium is necessary because this is where you're going to get it. But to your point about Tyler, yeah, the Tylers, the Oprahs, all those people, they're not going to lower themselves in where they sit to the slums of social media or the gutter where this trash like Mario exists. But unfortunately, that's the pulse of social media and the culture right now, that people do look at what's happening on the gutter and the utter. So the utter to the gutter, we got to go
But
Krishan to
Jason,
Cardi B.
press releases don't do it anymore, brother. I'm
They
sorry. I don't
don't.
care how high you think
They
you are.
don't.
And I've been dealing with something similar to someone who is, impressed with the stature that they once had, and they feel like it's the same. The earth is shifting under all of us, and we have to do things that we would not have had to do before. By the way, whoever took my sound out of my ear, thank you very much, because I was hearing myself 2 seconds later, stumbling and bumbling. Now I don't have to do that, so I appreciate it. I got through the first 20 minutes of it though, so thank you for that. So look, Jason, you understand what I'm saying? You have to do. Look, it's not radio anymore when it became television. It's
Somebody
not
just
television anymore when it became digital. It's
one of
not a
your
press release. It's not like this person, you can't put out a press release saying this person wholeheartedly denies that this happened. Nobody gives a shit about that anymore.
Listen, one of your lemon heads just said something I have to say is, by the way, lemon heads was my favorite candy as a kid. By the way, I'm gonna go get a box of it on the way to Vegas. Here's what I will say. They said Tyler Perry don't need to say nothing, he just need to let it play out in court. People, this is not the age where you go and flip through the newspaper and scroll through to see what happened. Social media is happening every 15 minutes on Hollywood Unlocked. There's a new story. Don Lemon is online from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and may even stay until 9 p.m. if the wine is whining. The reality is that news is always happening and the social media is moving around the world in seconds. The court of public opinion for people that don't own shit. Like I own my own brand. Don now owns his own brand. Those like Tyler Perry who owns Tyler Perry Studios. They don't say Fox Studios, it's Tyler Perry Studios. We have a different level of freedom where we're not entangled in the web of controls and influences that make us fearful to be honest and live in our truth. So while you want him to wait to get to the courthouse, which could be months and years down the line, he would
In the
lose
meantime, people are damaging and talking shit about him
and
online,
lose
and people are buying
and lose
and
everything.
fucking up his reputation. Yeah, go ahead.
But not only fucking up his reputation, look at how many shows sit under a Tyler Perry. Look at how many hairdressers, cameramen, writers, actors, stagehands, set designers who work under a Tyler Perry. So he's supposed to just sit by and let them burn everything he built down. So that way,
Right on.
nah, this is where you go and get a blowtorch. You go and find Don Lemon and Jason Lee, and we show up like Charlie's Angels. Pow, pow.
Freeze. And with the hair toss.
Okay.
So
Period.
let's talk about, because this one is still going. How long has this been going on? And now that someone has thrown some fuel into the fire now, and then someone sees that, okay, he's getting away with that. He might get paid. He might get some money. Then they start piling on. Okay, so I want to play, because this is the original one. Okay, this is a Derek Dixon one, and this came out. You and I had a conversation about this. I want you to hear a little bit of what Derek Dixon did. This was an exclusive interview on ABC with my friend. Here it is.
Can you explain that first alleged incident?
Yes, we were over at his house. We're having some drinks in his guest house, and it was late at night, and he has a guest quarters, and said that you can sleep there instead of not driving. And his house is far from Atlanta and where I was living, and I got into bed, and then I noticed that he climbed into bed with me as well, and started rubbing my leg. And I jumped up out of bed, and he has said, turn around so I can look at you, and just commented on how I looked, and then he got up and left. So I thought after that instance, it was pretty clear that I was not interested in that type of a relationship. It was very, very strange. I mean, I think it's okay that people try to make a move or shoot their shot, but if they get rejected, I think that they should stop. And so I thought it would stop after that, and it didn't.
At the end of the second season.
All right, so that's my friend Lindsay Davis doing an interview with.
I love Lindsay.
And that's still going. She's amazing, right? And as beautiful and as smart, she is as nice as that. Okay, what you say to that? Because that's still brewing out there. And
Okay.
it's still going.
First of all, that guy right there, he slid in one of my friend's DMs, and we've been trying to get these DMs too because maybe he likes the little brown thing. Maybe he found his way into Tyler's house. I mean, I know he was one of Tyler's actors. I think his role, one of his character got murdered or something. So I think that's why he's now trying to say that Tyler took advantage of him and then killed off his character because he didn't follow through with his advances. Let me just say this. That's all allegedly. Tyler's house is not, my houses are not nearly as big as Tyler's, but I got cameras everywhere. And Don, this is why anytime I want to have sex with somebody, we got to start on the couch. Why we got to start on the couch? Because I'm not going with you, letting you lure me to the room because you want to go see where none of the magic happens so you can get up there and hocus pocus your way into my bank account. No, we're going to be right here. And if you look up and see that camera and say you don't want to be on candid camera, well, guess what? I don't want to be in a lawsuit. I think it's all nonsensical that him and Tyler were walking through that big ass palatial mansion, found his way to the guest quarters. You see, he didn't say the East or West Wing, the quarters, because it's a whole hockey field to get there. And then you got there, and somehow you slid into bed and turned around, and the ghost of Medea Perry was sitting right next to you, looking at you, talking about turn. Shut the hell up. None of it sounds right. And even if Tyler slid into bed with you and say he was dressed up like Medea, is it worth $277 million? At this point, none of it adds up. When I sued somebody recently, you know what I said? I want $25,000 in apology, even though the ultimate demand now is at $15 million. Because guess what? I was just saying you owe me an apology for what you did because what you did was wrong. If I was victimized, when I got shot, when I got molested, I didn't go file a lawsuit. I called 911 and I filed a complaint. Where are all these complaints at? Why you ain't trying to put him in jail? If somebody slid in bed and tried to put something in me and I didn't want him to, I would be calling the National Guard to put them in jail. But you're not doing that because you don't want to go to jail. You want to go to Bank of America and WellsFargo.com. No. Mm-mm.
Okay, so I've got to say this, as you know. People out there are saying, Jason, you don't know. You don't know what happened. You know what I'm saying?
And neither do you. But all you're going to do is scroll down social media and try to read every little piece of tea on Tyler Perry. That's the thing. That's the problem. None of us know. But why do we know about $270 million? Why do we know about all these details that are in there, that are in this lawsuit? Why is it that we didn't wait? Why is it that they didn't wait to get to court in front of a judge whose responsibility is the judge? Why? Because in the world we live in right now with the Don Lemon Lives and the Jason Lee Show, you are the jurors. And that is why it's playing out for you to just sit up with your TV dinners and consume as much of this tea as you can while your conscience and your little deacon is telling you, pray the tea away. You can't wait to go to the next Don Lemon segment to get more of it. And that's why they're doing it. So we're all a part of the problem. Welcome to the Tyler Perry Show. It's just his time right now. Next time it'll be somebody else. It was Jay-Z a couple months ago. There's still somebody on the face of the earth that thinks Jay-Z somehow had a 13-year-old when we all knew it was nonsense. But because it hit social media and it tried to play out in a money grab, that is what happened, and that's where that was, and we'll have to see how this plays out.
Jason Lee, Hollywood Unlocked. Jason, you're a mensch for coming on to do this. I really do appreciate it. And so I'm going to see you tomorrow night, right?
Absolutely. You roped
You wanna
me
give him
into
a-
this. You got me worked up. I'm probably more mad than Tyler is right now. You know what I mean?
You
But
said, Don, I got to get on the road to Vegas. I got 20 minutes, and you have been talking the whole time.
it's you, Don. It's you in that shiny ass jacket. It's you, that shiny ass jacket, and just this. We need to do something together. Don, the lemons unlocked. We need to do something together.
We're going to spill some lemon tea. We're going to unlock the lemon tea.
Love it.
I think we honestly, we need to bring the spirit and her back as well of Wendy Williams back. We need to have a show that just dishes on everybody. I would love to do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Thank you very much, Jason Lee. Get on the road. Okay. So, but I'll see you. Want to give him a hint about tomorrow or no? Just save it.
Even if I was wrong, my love. Let me just go.
My
I'll see
love
you tomorrow.
don't. Oh, nothing.
Well, shit. It depends on who you invite to your house. Obviously, it could cost you $77 million.
Right. So we'll see you tomorrow night from a very fancy party, I think. Jason Lee. Jason, thank you. Travel safe, okay?
All right. Thank
Okay.
you. Bye
All
bye.
right. Jason, bye everyone. Bye, Jason. Bye, Jason. Everybody say goodbye to Jason. Okay, that was Jason. I don't know if you guys knew in the beginning I was hearing myself, and I tried to work through it. After decades of doing TV, I've learned to work through it, but I was stuttering and bumbling a little bit earlier. Okay, we're going to talk more about this, but first I want to get a word in from our sponsors. Support comes from 120 Life. Did you know that high blood pressure is the #1 risk factor for mortality? And here's the part that should just stop you in your tracks. 1 in every 2 adults has it. That is half the country, okay? So, and during the holidays, you're going to be sitting at tables, you're going to be partying, you're going to have fun gathering New Year's Eve, you're going to be eating this and that and gathering the people you love and dealing with it. They may not talk about it, but a lot of folks are dealing with it as well. That's why I want to tell you about 120 Life. It is a once-a-day, great-tasting, functional drink made with ingredients that help support healthy blood pressure. It is not a pill. It is not a gimmick. And the powdered version has just 1 gram of sugar, so it works for people watching their blood sugar as well. Okay? And I like it. Because it's very simple. You drink it daily, you use a home blood pressure monitor, and you watch your numbers change. Doctors trust it. Hundreds recommend it. More than 1,000 health professionals support it. And yes, it actually tastes good. A refreshing superfood blend that fits into real life even during holiday chaos. So right now, you can try 120 Life, and it is risk-free. You get 20% off when you use the code DON, D-O-N, at 120life.com. So try it for 2 weeks. If your numbers don't go down, you get a full refund, no questions asked. So there's nothing to lose except the high blood pressure number. Go to 120life.com. Use the code DON, D-O-N, to save 20% today. And I want you to know that these statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. Always check with your doctor. Tim and I both use it, and my mom uses it, and we love it, okay? So thanks to our sponsors. Okay, let's get back to this. Producers, Andy, help me out. Was there any more left in that clip of the second accuser? Because we were listening to it. It was a bit long. How much of it did we hear?
I think we pretty much heard the whole thing, but if you want me, I can play like the last 20 seconds. I think that's where we were.
Let's listen to him.
All right.
And I just want to apologize once again, guys, because I'm sorry I can't really talk about more than what I've talked about right now. But I will be giving you guys an update very soon about the whole situation that happened in detail. So stay tuned. And thank you guys for hearing me out. I appreciate it.
Okay, so listen, that's his thing. And he says, stay tuned, which is, you know, that's the era that Jason was talking about that we're in. Stay tuned. Yeah, usually, I'm just saying usually, in these situations, people will say, this happened to me, or they'll do an interview like the first accuser did and whatever, and then they'll shut up, or they'll say, this happened to me, and I'm going to fight till the end, or whatever it is. But they don't say stay tuned as if it's some sort of drama, or they're teasing you for something else, or they're trying to gain some sort of leverage. I'm just saying that's what it looks like. That's what it feels like. Gain leverage, bring up there's another, see, I'm not the only one. So, you know, I understand where Jason is coming from with this, and as a person of means, you know, that can be problematic. But also, as I said in my last question to him, people are going to say, Jason, you don't know what you don't know. And so that's where some folks are at. But I do believe that this is a different day and age, that you can't just put out a press release. You can't just be and this isn't personal for anyone, Tyler, or anybody, but you can't be so high and mighty or high on the hog where you think, I'm just going to go and I'm going to do a traditional interview and it's going to be, you know, maybe it'll be soft or whatever. You got to get out there where the conversation is happening, where the audience is. And just like back in the day when there were 3 networks, and so, you know, that was the only game in town. And then other networks came along. Tyler Perry became a part of those other networks that weren't serving audiences that needed to be served. And then Tyler Perry became a hugely successful billionaire because he realized that. I think that is what's happened with media now and also with public relations. It used to be someone like Jay-Z would put out a press release and then shut the hell up. That's not what Jay-Z did. Jay-Z said, you're not going to shake me down. I'm not standing for this. It will not be a money grab. You are not taking money out of my pocket. You're not ruining my reputation. Did not shut up and fought it all the way through and trusted the process. We're not in that anymore. And I think even public relations professionals, experts will tell you, you got to sometimes do some things that are different. And people appreciate authenticity, and they appreciate when, you know, you got some gumption to say, no, I'm not going to fucking let this happen to me. And they also appreciate it too, on the other end, if something did happen, you can say, you know, I messed up. I'm not saying that happened in this situation, but they appreciate that too, and then that's when you can move on. But simply not addressing it is like the Epstein files. Why aren't you talking about it? Why don't you put out your side of the story? What are you trying to hide? What are you trying to conceal? What are you running from? It's the same thing with the Epstein files, that people are thinking the same thing from the Trump administration. They're actually making him look guilty because they're not being candid, they're not being transparent, and they're not being forthcoming. You have to realize the moment that you're in. And if it is a dirty fight, if it is a dirty down in the gutter, below the gutter fight, you can't go when they go low, we go high. When they go low, you have to go to a different fucking galaxy below the crust on the other side of the earth. if you really want to be heard, because the loudest and the most hyperbolic voices, those are the ones that break through and get the attention. I'm just saying. And the attorneys know that. That's all I'm saying. Okay. More, do we have, Andy, from Derek Dixon? Because he said, I cut it off where he said, I thought it would stop, and then it didn't. And then Lindsay was asking him a question. Let's hear the rest. This is the first accuser.
Looked, and then he got up and left. So I thought after that instance, it was pretty clear that I was not interested in that type of a relationship. It was very, very strange. I mean, I think it's okay that people try to make a move or shoot their shot, but if they get rejected, I think that they should stop. And so I thought it would stop after that, and it didn't.
At the end of the second season, Dale gets shot in the chest 4 times. Why was that especially concerning for you?
What it meant to me was if I don't make him happy, I could stay dead on the show.
And the complaint specifically says, and I just want to quote it, Mr. Perry made it clear to Mr. Dixon that he would kill off Mr. Dixon's character if he did not indulge Mr. Perry's sexual harassment. Was that message clear to you?
For me, that was his way of showing his power over us and our careers, and that he doesn't have a problem with just killing one of us off.
You're also a screenwriter and had written a TV series called Losing It. Tell us about that.
He ended up wanting to read it, and I at first was like too embarrassed to even send to him, but he did, and he said he loved it and wanted to shoot the pilot for it.
All right, let's go to June of 2021, another alleged incident that you outline in your lawsuit where you're again at Tyler Perry's home in Atlanta, and it ends up with you locking yourself in a bathroom.
Mm-hmm. We started out having drinks in the living room like we, have done before, and it got to a point in the night where, we were both kind of feeling drunk, and I remember we were walking back to the guest area where I've stayed before, and there was this health monitor scale on the way. And I was like, what is that? And he said, well, you have to be in your underwear to measure, whatever, so you should do it. He reached down and pulled my underwear down and grabbed my ass, and I tried to stop him and pull back my underwear up, and he kind of grabbed my arms and said, no, it's okay. Just go with it. And I said, stop, I don't want to be naked, I don't want this. And he was just like, no, I'm not gonna hurt you, and just continued. And in that moment, unless someone's been through something where they have their control over their bodies taken away, you don't really understand the kind of feelings that you get in that moment. It was almost like every thought came through my head: to run, to fight, to freeze. I didn't know what to do.
He says he de-escalated and distracted Perry.
That is an ABC News report that came out not long after the first accuser there. I want to know what you think. You guys let me know what you think in the comments, because this is a tough one for some people, because there have been people who have been obviously they have been abused, and their allegations were correct. There seems to be a lot of consternation around this one, whether it is true or not. Look, we weren't there, so we don't know. But Jason certainly has a perspective and a point of view that a lot of people that I have been speaking to share. And even folks will say, even if it's true, is it worth, as Jason said, that much money? Is it worth $277 or 200 whatever $1 million or $77 million for one person? I don't know. I can't answer those questions. But I know that this has happened. This has been going on for a long time. That people have been, because I was going to ask Jason, why then Tyler Perry? Why are people accusing him of this, especially if it's not true? But there have been allegations and accusations about, not allegations, I should say. I'm wrong. I take that back. There have been rumors about Tyler Perry and his sexuality, whatever. I don't care. I don't care what you are, whether you're gay, straight, or whatever, funky, whatever it is that you are. I don't really care. That's not my business. And if you're doing stuff with if it's two consenting adults, it's not my business. But people have said that before, and people are aware of those rumors. And I'm sure Tyler Perry is aware of those rumors. And so if he is, this would make this sort of behavior just nonsensical. But, you know, and the other side of that is folks who say, where there's smoke, there's fire. And that's all I know. If you can play for me again, Andy, the Jesse Weber bit, I would like to see it just a little bit, because it does some of it and then it talks about the story and what happened. Here it is.
Well, I stayed quiet for much too long. I could have saved somebody that this probably happened to after me, but I do apologize, and I'm speaking up now.
Now a second man, model Mario Rodriguez, is suing Tyler Perry, accusing the actor of sexual assault and alleging a disturbing pattern of manipulation. And his lawsuit alleges something deeply specific, that Perry allegedly reenacted a famous Good Will Hunting therapy scene in order to target him with past trauma. This lawsuit also names Lionsgate, accusing the studio of enabling Perry's alleged behavior.
Okay, so again, that is part of the story, and that's the stuff that's out there that gets spread around. Look, some of the comments, there are people in the comments who are saying that he's guilty. Some of them are saying, I'm over it. He's trying to get money. Others are saying, I don't believe it. And so, look, it's a very difficult situation to obviously to be in, but also to discuss, because we don't know what's true and what's not, but we do know whatever the evidence shows, at least now, what we have publicly, we do know what the evidence shows, and you can make your own conclusion about what you think it is. Another word from our sponsors. The Don Lemon Show today is brought to you by the Freedom from Religion Foundation. As of 2025, as we come to a close now, a lot of us are taking stock in where this country is headed. And if you care about democracy, if you care about civil liberties and the Constitution, then already you see it very, very clearly what's going on. Christian nationalism is no longer fringe. It's organized. It's in our politics. It's in our school. It's in our school boards. It's in our courtrooms. It's all over. And it's pushing a version of America that leaves millions of people out, especially non-believers, LGBTQ folks, and religious minorities. That is why I want to tell you about the Freedom from Religion Foundation and the work that they're doing, the very necessary work. They've been doing it since 1978. The FFRF has been defending the wall between church and state, doing the legal work to make sure government works for all of us, not just those with power and those who have a particular theology. It's not supposed to be about theology. It's supposed to be about democracy. Remember, we have freedom of religion in our country, and our freedom of not to have a religion or believe in any religion in our country. And as we head towards the 2026 midterms, this moment really, really matters, everyone. Institutions that defend our freedoms need to be strong before those freedoms are taken away. So here's how you can help. You can make a tax-deductible donation before December 31st. You got one day to do it, or become a member and support their ongoing fight for reason, equality, and constitutional integrity. So go to ffrf.us/winter25, or you can text DON, D-O-N, to 511-511 right now, because protecting democracy takes more than outrage. It takes actions, and it starts with you. Text fees may apply. Thank you so much to our sponsors. Okay, so here I am in New Orleans because, well, you guys know why I'm here, don't you? Here I am in Y'allens because I am doing a New Year's Eve special. I'm wearing this shiny jacket because I'm doing a New Year's Eve special, and I've been doing promotions here. I got to tell you, this city has been really amazing to me. It's been really welcoming. Just rolled out the red carpet, opened the doors. They're so happy to have people here who are positive and who believe in the city and the people of the city. It's just really been amazing. So I want to thank the people of New Orleans just for welcoming me and just for being so nice and so gracious and so hospitable. And then we're gonna usher in a fantastic New Year's Eve and a fantastic 2026 right here. If you'd like to know anything about the Don Lemon Show, all you have to do is go to donlemon.com. Go to donlemon.com, and you can click on, if you want to know where we are, you can click on our watch pages there. Also, you can click on our merch pages or whatever. Become a member. Also, become a subscriber. Subscriptions are free. Memberships are very reasonable. Check out our merch. If you're wearing the merch, take a picture, email it to thedonlemonshow@gmail.com. And also, tomorrow if you come here to New Orleans, you can. If you click on donlemon.com, it's at the top. Wear your merch. We'd love to see you in it, okay? So I'm going to see you back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I think, yes. Until I see you then, here's what I want you to do. I want you to be informed without being inundated. I want you to have a great evening. I want you to get into the holiday spirit, and I want you to turn the TV off. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Your support means the world to us. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a show. We're live every weekday at 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Time with new clips dropping at 2 p. and 8 p. And if you want even more Don Lemon Show content, join the Lemon community. Members get exclusive posts, behind-the-scenes videos, and live chats just for you. So hit the join button or visit our channel page to sign up. Thanks again for all your love and your support, and I'll see you next time.